Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. I just posted a video and I talked about what one of the YouTubers talked about, which is the upcoming press conference of Sheriff Joe and Lieutenant Mike Zulu. In that video that I posted, I also mentioned Fast and Furious. I also mentioned an individual by the name of David Ogden. Now, David Ogden was the Deputy District Attorney. I'm going to attach a series of videos, they're links, and I think you're going to find some of them interesting. There's one that has me doing a video about Fast and Furious about 3 years ago. And I talk about David Ogden and what he had said. And I talk about Janet Neapolitano. David Ogden was again the assistant district attorney, and he talks about rather interesting news. Barack Hussein Obama, when confronted and asked about Fast and Furious, once again said he didn't know about it until he saw it on television. Eric H. Holder Jr. and the head of DHS at that time, Janet Neapolitano, said she didn't know about it until she learned about Border Agent Brian Terry's death. And what you're going to hear the Deputy Attorney General, David Ogden, say, he disputes all of that. This was taken March 24th, 2009. And David Ogden makes it very clear that Barack Hussein Obama provided the initial funding of $10 million for Operation Gunrunner efforts, later known as Fast and Furious. He also talks about Eric H. Holder Jr. opening up additional field offices. And what's interesting is, while David Ogden is making that press announcement, the then DHS Secretary, Janet Neapolitano, is standing right beside him. And then I'll attach an additional link that you'll hear her say exactly that. Now, if we had a Congress worth a pinch of salt, this would have ended in 2009. But we don't have a Congress worth a pinch of salt. That's why nothing happened. I recall doing videos back then that I said that this will end Barack Hussein Obama's reign of terror. And it would have, if again we had a Congress worth a pinch of salt. I'll attach a series of links. You'll hear Deputy Attorney General David Ogden, you'll hear Janet Neapolitano, and you'll hear me based on a video I did way back then. It's very frustrating when there's so much that many of us know and none of us have anyone to go to. Hopefully that'll change with the new administration. We'll see. Take a look at the various links. Listen to what Deputy Attorney General David Ogden has to say. Take a look at when Border Agent Brian Terry was murdered by guns that our government gave to the drug cartels. The whole purpose of the Fast and Furious effort, I believe, was to create the chaos that it created, the murders that resulted from the shipment of those weapons, and the plan that this mentally deranged administration had was to come out and say, we can't allow what's happening in Mexico to happen here. And as a result, we've got to curtail the Second Amendment. That was the plan. When that failed, they then went to Plan B, Sandy Hook. When that failed, they did the Boston Marathon bombing. When that failed, they did the shooting in Colorado at the movie theater. When that failed, they did the shooting in Tucson, Arizona. Gabriel Gifford, a federal judge, was killed. A little 5-year-old girl was killed. When that failed, well, I could go on and on and on, but you sort of know how all of these events took place, all designed to try to convince the American people to be willing to give up their Second Amendment and turn in their weapons. History has proven that when a country gives up its weapons, it gives up its freedom. Fact. You don't believe me? Do your own research. Please take the time to watch the links. You're going to find them to be most revealing. And again, it all comes back to our worthless, ineffective, uncaring, self-serving Congress. You think not? You're entitled to your own opinion. But if you take the time to watch the links, I think you'll think otherwise. Thanks for listening.